Welcome to the Unmuted Podcast, everybody.
Oh my God.
Yes, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's me, Delvin. It's also Miss Lisa J.
Miss Lisa J.
And Big Sir Steven himself.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot to talk about. We've been gone for a week and all hell has broken loose.
Yes.
I don't know if we have enough time to talk about everything, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Oh, yeah. We might have to split this one up.
Yeah, there might have to be a part 2 of this.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff. The Unmuted Podcast, everybody, you all can listen to it on every podcast streaming platform out there. Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. Everything that we got out there, you can listen to it there. And also, go to YouTube, go to our YouTube page,
yes.
Genius Audio LLC, and like the page.
Please do.
Please like the page, because that's the only way that you will know when we have updates on our stuff.
Yeah, and new content. You don't want to miss it.
You want new content. You want to know when it's going to drop. What better place can for you to enjoy your July 4th holiday than listening to us ramble on?
While you on that grill?
You hear me?
About the foolishness that has gone on in this world.
Yes.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to start in Chicago.
Start in Chicago.
The internet has taken over this thing about what happened with Carlisha Hood. Am I saying her name right?
Yes.
Carlisha Hood, and being in Maxwell's on in the hundreds
situation. 116th and Halsted, I believe.
Oh, thank God! I thought it was on the west side. Okay.
So that's been the place where everything has been going on. And if you don't know the story, where the hell have you been?
Where?
Because the entire
it went national.
The entire planet is talking about this story. Woman goes into a Polish stand, I guess it was, Maxwell's, ordering some food, and somebody's in front of her or behind her. I don't know what position they were in, but an argument takes place, and his name, which I will not give him any credit at all on this show, but
we'll just call him the dead man.
The dead man. Yeah, that's good. The dead man decided he wanted to pop off and hit the woman.
He did his big one, didn't he?
Yeah, he went in there and he wanted to call the shots and
wanted to show out.
I really want to know, and it's never been disclosed, what exactly the argument was about.
I know,
what started this?
That's true. I want to know I would really want to know what started.
Yeah, because that's never been disclosed, and we don't know. It's still a lot of information that's missing, but what the video shows and what we know, or what's already been revealed, that's what we're going to be discussing.
Yeah, and as a result of all of this, the 14-year-old boy grabs her gun out of the car. Now, I didn't know the whole story. I didn't know the facts. Once I put it on my Facebook page, I was asking a whole bunch of questions. Then people started to school me. I got a call from someone who is a counselor who deals with these type of situations. And she was just telling me, listen, he got what he deserved, but the problem is that he's going to have to live with this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The rest of his life.
He's going to have to live with this for the rest of his life. Yeah. And unfortunately, he's not the only one. There are people who carry this on with them forever.
Oh, sure.
And they just live with it. They deal, and it comes out in different ways. But this kid, mild-mannered, obedient to his parents and everything, never in trouble at all.
Right. One of the cousins even posted on his behalf, defending him, stating that he's not a bad kid. He's like a straight-A student. He's getting into the acting field, having been an extra on The Chi and things like that. Yeah. So he's, like a good little boy and on his way to a bright future. But this happens, and hopefully it won't block anything that God had in store for him.
Well, Cardi B, was it Cardi B? Cardi B stepped up, saying that she's going to pay for his college education.
That's what's up.
If he decides to go to college.
Period, Cardi. That's what I'm talking about.
So there's good endings out of this, but still, once this hit, now there's been opposition on every side. Everyone has a side here. How are you going to let the mother? What if it was your mother? What if he didn't deserve to die like this? and all of this come from every side. And
did he deserve to live like that though?
Exactly.
Thinking he could be the knockout king
Yeah,
and
and
never have
just
any
do what
type of
you wanna,
repercussions.
Well, that was the other side of the story because they. Oh, you want to close this out?
Do we? Do we need to?
Yeah, there's a little echo, but we can close it. Yeah, we swing that. So because of that, he didn't have much of a. Okay.
He didn't have much of anything.
Let me put it this way. When you call yourself the knockout king, that comes with its own state of, you get typecasted, I guess.
Yeah.
And
it's not going to be without any type of backlash either, because somebody else is going to think they're a bigger king and they feel like they can knock you out. So you're always going to be challenged.
Yeah, there's always going to be challenges to this here. But my downfall, the thing that I'm finding crazy here is he had 2 daughters, and he does this to a woman.
Exactly.
So when you think of it, you have no consideration or no concern for your own daughters.
Exactly.
If you do this to a woman. If you do it to a grown woman, what would you do to your own children or to somebody else's child? And unfortunately, he's going to have to live with that. But his family is going to defend him.
Oh, absolutely.
The family is defending him like crazy, and so is the girlfriend who was there at the scene when the incident happened.
And so that's just it. She was egging him on.
Egging him on, laughing and everything. And since his demise, she's been on social media further trying to validate.
Yeah.
I think one of the quotes that I saw that she posted was, "So y'all gonna act like y'all nigga ain't never knocked y'all out." Excuse me,
That's
ma'am.
crazy.
Wow.
My nigga has never knocked me out.
Crazy.
So she's comparing this to the fact that she's been knocked out before?
Right,
Wow.
right. It's his normal behavior, and people should just adjust to it and adapt to it like she has. So apparently she was taking a few left and right hooks.
Yeah.
My whole thing, I just couldn't. I would love to know what the whole thing was
Me
about.
too.
Simple fact was, if you've seen the video of how he hit that woman,
So hard.
what
It was
can
so much
somebody
more.
say to make you want to hit them like it? I can't imagine.
Well, what came up a lot on my social media thread was, how it is when people start getting crazy or going crazy. You leave crazy alone.
Yeah.
You get your stuff and you go.
Yeah, you leave, yeah.
You leave. You don't continue to add fuel to the fire.
Right.
And she may have been spicy a little bit, but it still
And
didn't
that's
deserve.
fine. I was just gonna say
It still didn't deserve for her to be hit the way she was hit.
Exactly.
But
multiple times.
But Kim Fox decided there was not enough proof to
Thank God.
Prosecute,
Yes.
and that may be.
We needed that win. I don't know about you guys, but I really felt like, okay, thank you, because we needed that.
But do you think that I was nervous because she went straight from jail to a press conference with her lawyer saying that she's going to sue.
That part.
And that's the part that I didn't understand, because she's sitting here saying to herself, I'm gonna make this an Anjanette Johnson or Anjanette whatever her name was, who had the wrong raid, the busing where she was broken in naked and then she got $3 million because of it. She's gonna make it like that. And I didn't know if that constituted that type of money, because the police did nothing wrong.
The police did nothing wrong, and we're very thankful for the lady. I cannot call her name right now, but the one who released the video.
Oh, I know
because
her name.
that
Hold
first
on.
video.
I'll give you her name in a second.
Yeah, the first video that was released did not show him punching her repeatedly like that. It was just they just cut it off with him swinging. But she was the one that stepped up and she released the footage.
Rahima Lewis is her name.
Yes.
I've been trying all week to contact her. Rahima Lewis let the video loose, and the world was aware of exactly what was going on because of it. So,
absolutely.
Unfortunately, she won't do any interviews.
Okay.
But the video spoke for itself.
Yeah, and she's probably concerned for her safety.
True.
As well, because his family, for lack of a better term, they some motherfuckers.
No.
So they're ignorant and just ghetto.
Goes without saying, I guess.
Sad.
But even though you guys know that incident happened on Father's Day, and when I went, it was June 18th, and when I went to Miss Hood's page on Father's Day, she was randomly cash apping people, fathers, telling them, you know, God put this on her heart. She just wanted to bless some fathers, from deserving fathers. And she was, you know, screenshotting and shouting them out and stuff like that. So that's the type of person that you're dealing with. You're not dealing with some wild ghetto woman that's going to be like, what you say, you know.
Right.
So she was it probably started from him, and she was just, you know, trying to stand her ground. People were also in the comments stating, well, why would she text her son and not call the police? Okay, because your son is right there. He's, you know, maybe if she has witnesses, if she has somebody to come in that she knows is going to be supportive of her. Did she tell him to get the gun?
That's the part
nobody knows.
Yeah.
Only his phone knows and she knows. So
and I think that's what made me nervous about her deciding that she wanted to sue now, because that can bring up so many other things that can damage her.
Yes.
Or be damaging to her and her son.
Here's the two things that I was concerned about more than anything. Aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. That's number one, because he was the one who threw the shot. He was the one that held the gun.
Exactly.
On her side, contributing to the delinquency of a minor on her part, because she told him to go get the gun.
But do we know that for a fact?
Well,
do we know that this young boy was not like, man, my mama might be in danger. I don't know what I'm about to walk into. But let me just grab the blicky.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with her, because she wasn't armed at the time, but she had her gun.
Right.
Exactly.
So the best way she could get her gun was through her son at that point in time, because she didn't want to take it into the restaurant, I guess, because whatever might jump off.
Exactly.
When you have concealed carry, though, you don't always just pick your gun up. It's usually in the car. If you're running in Walgreens, who grabs their gun and be like, hey, we never know? You would raise your hand. Big Sir says he takes his gun
It's like
everywhere.
American Express.
Well, you know, don't leave home with it.
Do you have your gun on you right now?
I don't bring it into the
house, okay. So then you don't take it everywhere.
I bet you if I'm going to Pepe's or something, I'm on the gas station, it's going to be on me.
Absolutely. So those are the two charges that could have popped up, because she's trying to bring this lawsuit on. The only thing they cleared her of was murder. The only thing they cleared him of was murder.
Right. There will be additional charges, I believe, if they have not been placed already. But the thing is, he's going to have to, while she's suing, they both spent 5 days.
Yeah.
Was
locked
it that
down.
long?
Yes.
Oh my
I told you it happened on Father's Day.
That's true.
So we just learned about all this stuff this past week or over the past weekend. So
now he was in the son was in the
juvenile.
Okay.
Right. And she was in county. So that's 5 days that she couldn't work. He couldn't live his life. Who knows what traumatic stuff he's seen in there.
Oh, Juvia's no pump.
You know, so I understand the lawsuit. Now, will she probably win the lawsuit? We don't know. We can't predict that.
Yeah,
we didn't predict her charges being dropped.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, it can really go either way.
But again, kudos to Kim Fox, because, you know, she's going to go out as the state's attorney who will not prosecute unnecessarily when it comes to black people. And in a case like this, number one, she's rolling back all of these marijuana charges with everybody. And that's going to take forever. Well past the time that she's in office to clear all of that up. But she's not going to prosecute maliciously or unwarrantedly. And she said that much. But where this goes from here, I don't know. You can't poke the bear when it comes to stuff like this.
Exactly.
And you can't go in there saying, I'm going to get millions, I'm going to sue you for millions, when in reality, there were so many people, they were wrong on so many sides. And you just can't say, well, you know what, I'm exempt from all the wrong based on what has happened to me, when a lot of this was self-induced.
Right.
And you brought this on yourself. So, that's my take.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not the best person to make that take, but yeah.
I do have a question, and I'm directed to you, Delvin. I mean, us being men. if you look at the tape, you can see that there are other men that's present.
I was just about to say that.
In the restaurant. Could you, and I could see both sides, and I'll tell my story after this, but could you have been witness to a man attacking a woman like that and not doing anything to step in?
Personally, no. I couldn't just stand there and watch somebody beat somebody.
Right.
Exactly.
That just goes against everything that I stand for now. The issue that I have, because you don't know in the situation, you don't know who has what. You don't know who has the gun.
Exactly.
One person has a gun. That ain't the only gun in the world.
Hello.
So that
Right.
means that there are other people that might have it. The girlfriend who was egging them on could have had a gun. There's a lot of different situations there. And so do I blame men for walking away from the restaurant when this whole thing was going on? Absolutely. Because you could have just at least thrown yourself up in there somehow to slow this thing here down. And there were a lot of men in there.
Yeah.
A lot of men.
That's what I'm saying.
So, 2 men is still outnumbering the one nut that's in there doing all this craziness. So
Exactly.
I don't understand that part. But no, I can't just stand there and watch. No. But you?
I could. If you have time to think about it, you may question. You start asking, well, you don't know who has what,
Right.
But off the bat, your intentions are to I got to do something. Yeah. And that brings me to this.
Protect black women.
Hey, this is about 20 years ago. This was I was a deputy sheriff. I was on the way. I don't know if I was on the way to work or coming from. I was on the Green Line at the Central and Lake station.
West side. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're not gonna do that.
Go ahead.
And as I'm, getting off there or coming out from the turnstiles, I see a man and woman getting into it, and he starts laying into her. I don't know the background. I don't know what happens, but I can't let you. Basic instinct say, pull this man off this woman.
Right.
So I pull him off and I slam him to the ground. As I'm restraining him, she jumps on my back and start wailing on my ass. Apparently that's her man, and that and I'm sticking with him. Ain't nobody gonna beat him but me, and he can't, vice versa. So
I've had that happen too.
Both of them got locked up because when I got down with them, like I said, I was a deputy sheriff at the time. So
well, I had that happen too. So I saw somebody on a bus who was argumentative with someone while they were standing there waiting for the bus as I was driving by, and their kid, I guess it was her kid, was sitting on the bus bench while they were going at it, and so he's watching this entire thing happen.
Yeah.
And so I drove around and came back, and they were still there. I pulled up, and I got in between the both of them with my car, not me. Well, I just rolled up on them, and then the car separated them. I didn't want to get into that. But once the car separated, and then I got out of the car, and then I got to him. And I'm like, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then the cops came. Because I guess I wasn't the only one that saw this. So people were calling the cops. So once the cops came and kind of divided, why is your car, sir, up here on the curb?
Right.
Up here on this person. So now I'm in trouble. Right. For this, sir, I'm trying to break up this fight. So,
right.
But again, my issue then was the child who was no more than 5 watching this whole thing take place. I had to do something because he is now soaking all of this in.
Exactly.
And now his behavior is going to change to how he respects his mother, and what he does towards women. And you have to stop all that at an early age. Otherwise, this is just going to fester and get out of control. Now he's going to be part of this whole problem. So, yeah, I get it. But still, that's just way too much. So...
And then you got those people that are mind the business that pays you. So how can you really say that and stand on that when you see somebody getting beaten down? But it happens. People pull out their phones to record instead of calling 911.
Be the first thing they do.
And it's a sad society that we live in today. Everybody wants to go viral instead of help saving a life. And that's
speaking of going viral, the who is this? The sister or is it the wife?
She's a cousin. Right? Who? Which one? What?
The audio.
The video.
Right.
Okay, so that's a cousin.
Oh, that's a cousin. Okay.
Yes, and she was, popping her shit, talking. I guess it was on the day of the funeral, and people were talking and leaving comments and stuff, and she just wanted to express herself, but she made herself look so ignorant, trying to validate his behavior, even in death. Like, he's dead, girl. Shut up.
Yeah, well, let's hear what she has to say about this whole thing.
On this motherfucking internet trolling.
Yeah.
Cause I put Knockout King on my motherfucking shirt. Bitch, he is the Knockout King of the motherfucking
He was.
bitch. Before this motherfucking situation. Y'all really dragging this motherfucking case. Y'all really just want to have something to talk about. Y'all really got too much time on y'all motherfucking hands. Y'all really getting on my motherfucking nerve. And we really laughing at y'all. Y'all really making us famous. And thank you for the 10,000 views. Like, y'all that's going crazy. Yeah, y'all did y'all big.
Yeah. Thank you for the 10,000 views.
Yeah.
Which goes to show you.
We were totally judging you. All 10,000 views were people in judgment.
You're not even going to get 15 minutes from that.
Exactly. Who is she? It's over today. Like,
We
what?
don't even know her name.
Now, this happened on Father's Day.
Yes, the incident happened on Father's Day, June 18th.
Here it is now. We're at July the 2nd.
Second, yes.
And
His funeral was just, Friday, I believe? Thursday or Friday?
But you know,
It was on Thursday, I think. But yeah.
but the only people keeping this alive
It's them.
is his family.
His family. She's posting pictures of her twerking in front of his cardboard cutout sign. Like, that's the thing that you're supposed to do. She decided to put Knockout King on her shirt because she's ghetto. Like, who would promote this behavior? And for him to have that reputation as being the Knockout King, when did it start? We see how it ended. When did it start?
Yeah.
Because clearly he has been doing that and never has been corrected for anything by anybody.
Yeah.
If they're still, even in his death, validating, talking about he didn't deserve that. Well.
But somebody said he went in for a burger and left out wings.
That's the
I'm just
best
saying. That's all.
quote
That's what I heard.
ever. That is the best one.
The one that I read was his casket could have been sponsored by Red Bull.
Oh, because he gave him
Because
wings.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I totally agree. Yeah, he deserves all the jokes, all the, and hopefully God have mercy on his soul. But,
I doubt that, no.
Well, hopefully he down there holding up his reputation in hell as the Knockout King.
I doubt that. God's gonna be like, yo, big homie, can I get up here in the, can I get up there in the land of the milk and the honey? Can I get up there with you?
What do you think God said?
What did he say?
Yeah.
Hell no. He's like, hold on one second, hold my beer. Hold my beer. Let me come. No. Say it one more time. No.
Right. How did you even get this far?
Bro, be like, who's on the gate today? Who's on the gate? Because they need to be fired.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen. But all I know is the story has taken so much of a turn, and is only alive now because of his family.
Right.
That's it. That's all. Outside of that, I don't think that anybody would really pay this any attention.
Nope. Carlicia's not going live talking about the case. No. She's, very private about it. She's not even accepting public clients. She's taking everything virtually because she has to protect her peace, her mental space. I'm sure she doesn't want to be in front of people she doesn't know right now. Right. That's the traumatic experience she just went through, as well as still trying to care for her son and get counseling for him as well as herself. So she's going through a lot. We just going to continue to.
What is you going to do about, when school starts back, you got to face
exactly.
That's a lot.
You got to go through that. Him going to school and kids, kids can be some of the worst people, critics in the world. And they're going to be saying stuff to him. And some are not going to always look at him as the hero. Exactly. They're going to be like, boy, why you do that? Like, my cousin got shot. You didn't have to shoot. You know what? So what? Yeah. But he's got to get prepared to deal with all of that stuff. So we're just going to keep positive thoughts, sending them their way. And hopefully, everything will be good. Victorious in their case or not, whichever the judge decides. But they have my support. I don't know about you guys.
Well, when it comes to the mother, she has the support of this entire country.
Absolutely.
At this point, when it comes to the son, he has the support of this entire country. When it comes to the Knockout King and his family, they will get drugged in the worst way possible.
Repeatedly.
Every time.
Yeah, so I'm not even worried about them. The world will do its job.
Job, yes.
And so the world will give support, and the world will also drag you.
Right.
And I'm just waiting for them to do the adequate amount of dragging that is necessary with this type of story.
Because they're too proud. Too proud. They created a GoFundMe allegedly for his children, but then posted a picture of his casket with his graphics on them and all of that stuff. And they talk about because who the fuck ever needed a GoFundMe? Y'all did apparently.
Apparently, it was the cousin. It was one of his cousins that created the GoFundMe.
Right, allegedly for his children.
Allegedly for right, exactly. So, how many kids does the cousin have that she needs to take care of now because of the death of her uncle or whatever? Now that stands into play. So I don't even think they got like $30, $40 on that YouTube page,
right?
That GoFundMe.
And that was the thing too, because the supporters of Carlisha started a GoFundMe as well. And once those charges were dropped, she refunded and reversed all those people their money back and she got a lot of support. She sent it all back.
Wow.
So that's another thing that can be said about them.
Well, see that again. That's the good part about the internet. They're going to Carlisha was only in for it if she was going on charges were brought up, and maybe a legal defense fund.
Exactly.
But since that's no longer the case, she handed the money back to everybody who donated.
And who does that?
Right.
They be like, dang, y'all bad.
Because if that was me.
Listen, we be doing this show from Jamaica right now.
Thank you for your support, everybody. But this show's going mobile.
By the beach. Lord have mercy.
Right.
Now we can only do the show from 31st Street Beach. But there will be a time, though. There will be a day. Moving forward.
Yes.
Okay, the next story is, which one are we going with next?
Oh, it's so many. You guys decide. I'm just going with the flow today. I don't have my phone.
Oh, so that's right.
I am lost.
Okay. For everybody who does not know, Lisa. Lisa, usually we all communicate to each other via phone. Text messaging,
DMs,
all of this.
Sending each other stories.
And everything. Lisa had the whole rundown on her phone.
Yeah, I did my due diligence. Did a little schedule thing.
Okay.
Walked out the house.
And then the next thing you know, she left her phone.
Yeah.
So now I'm bringing up all of this stuff here. Okay. So the blacks question.
Steven, you posed that question in the text messages. You said, "Are we too forgiving?"
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just sometimes I see certain things and it just angers me, and I wonder, are black people too forgiving? Are we too quick to forgive racism and discrimination? Is that the reason why we've suffered for so long? I know we want to take the Christian stance, and we're supposed to, but is that one of the things that's held us back?
Yes.
For so long. We're too forgiving.
You want my answer right off the bat?
Please.
Absolutely yes.
Absolutely.
We are too forgiving.
We are very much so too forgiving. Think about the Black Panthers. Yeah. That was what I originally thought about. Not only the Black Panthers, but Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the Martin Luther King stance as well. I think a lot of people hooked on to his nonviolence approach when we should have went back to the Black Panthers and the Malcolm X approach. Mm-hmm. We got to defend ourselves. We have to stand up, and sitting by silently and not saying anything to, correct someone's behavior, or just sitting by silent while you getting a hose turned on you. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We are way too forgiving. Yeah. And I don't know how this generation, but our generation and the generation before us, they didn't really have, we didn't really have to fight that the Panthers had. We didn't have the organizational skills to organize and rise up against, after it seemed like the civil rights movement just died when the leaders died.
Yeah.
And we got Jesse Jackson, of course, but do we?
Well,
that is so. I'm not good.
we have a lot of leaders, but we just don't have the drive. I'm not finna do this.
I love him. I love him.
I love Jesse Jackson.
Absolutely. He did his best.
Shout out to you, Jesse Jackson, for Chinta Strasburg, all of you all over there at Rainbow Push, Bishop Tavis. Thank you for everything that you all do.
We have plenty of
But that was funny as hell. I'm sorry.
I mean,
okay, I'm done.
Until we can organize and we walk into hospitals and we want to see Brother Johnson.
That's what I'm saying.
And we not leaving until
see, we have the leaders, but we don't have the people. Nobody wants to follow. Everybody just wants to. It's not an issue until it directly affects them.
Yeah.
Other than that, ain't my problem. Y'all need to just,
Exactly. They don't see, if somebody else, again, goes back to mind the business that pays you.
Exactly.
We are like a collective. Us as Black people as a whole need to stand up together to defend and not just bow down and be like, and not just send, the little gangbangers. That has changed.
Yeah.
The Black Panther stance to these little gangbangers today is the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, true.
So they're more about committing crime. Black Panthers are more about justice. And until we get back to that place, it's going to be the same cycle repeating itself.
Listen, there's no way you could tell me with the number of blacks in the NFL, if every black player at the time when was the 49ers, what was in there?
You talking about
Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When he was taking a knee, when they raised all that saying, and if every black player would have said, well, you know what?
Let's all take a knee.
If y'all got a problem with it, we don't have to play. None of us have to play. And they all stood together.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they would never play the Star Spangled Banner at an NFL game.
But there's so much divisiveness just between us.
Yes.
That's it.
That will never.
Exactly.
No unity at all.
Exactly.
So when it comes to unforgiving, for forgiving as a race, we are by far the most forgiving people because the reason why we are, here's my soapbox. I'm about to get on it. Okay. So because we are so forgiving, it is because of the amount of things that has happened to us. Yeah. And because of the things that has happened to us, the white man will always say, you know what, there's power in forgiveness.
Yeah.
There's power in forgiveness. Can we just forgive and forget? That is going to be the mantra of the white person. And so,
oh my God,
they have instilled that into us so much, and the Christian faith has also instilled that in us so much that now we go on press conferences after getting shot, or after being robbed or abused in some form, and they say, you know what, I forgive them.
Yeah.
Right.
Even during the trial, I forgive you.
Body's not even cold yet, and they like.
Nobody has asked you for forgiveness.
Right.
But you know what? I forgive her. Your Honor, I forgive her for shooting my brother. And that's exactly because that was a martyr Arbery.
Right.
His brother.
And that's what the Bible says. The Bible, I'm doing air quotes. The Bible. I think until we can decipher it and take it for what it is that we need and apply it to ourselves, then it's just all going to be a bunch of rhetoric. You're going to take this part, this statement, and apply it to you when that's not even what God was talking about. But yeah, I'm agreeing with you when you said we're too forgiving as far as because the white man tells you to forgive. Yeah. I did not send you guys this story this week, but when you said that, it brought it to my memory. Larry Reed again posted something else. There is this white preacher.
I saw that.
The blacks prayed slavery away. We humbled ourselves. We didn't rise up. We didn't try and fight. We humbled ourselves. We did what we were told, and that's how Juneteenth came about, and we became free. I don't know what he was smoking, but that's what this man came up with. And I saw that and I was just like, wow. Well, people will take our lives and take our story and twist it to their own agenda.
The unfortunate thing about this whole thing is, we can talk about Juneteenth and we can celebrate Juneteenth, but as long as there is it's not being taught in schools the right way.
It's not being taught in schools.
Then what's really happening here?
States are fighting to get Black history removed.
So why are we talking about Juneteenth? when the bigger issue is we can't even talk about how Juneteenth was established.
Exactly.
Come on.
So, kids gonna be like, "What do you mean Juneteenth? Why did that happen?"
Let's not talk about that.
Don't worry about it.
Critical race theory. That's a critical race theory thing. So we're gonna shy away from this here because we don't want to get the government involved.
Exactly. And while we're on this plane, there's a whole affirmative action overturn that took place this week. Like, how do y'all feel? I feel like we're on a scooter going backwards.
You hear me?
At a high speed because...
Did you see all the black women that... did I send you that?
Yes. And one day after that...
Lost their jobs because of the
overturning of affirmative action. And it's just... So many people are rejoicing in that. So many other people. And I can't believe that Clarence Thomas coon ass...
Why you can't believe
set on that... And the only reason he got into Harvard was due to affirmative action.
Right.
Hello.
And he's sitting up there voting against it. And I don't know how he got off with the hair on the Coke can back in the day.
I've been trying to find Anita Hill number to apologize to her all weekend.
Somebody needs to beat his ass, seriously. Catch him outside.
Just goes to show you that the downgrade between who was in place before him.
Because he did leave for a while, didn't he?
No, the justice that was in place for him before Clarence Thomas, he took his place, as a matter of fact,
I can't
in the
remember.
Supreme Court.
I know who you're talking about. Can't call his name.
For him to, oh God, I wish I could remember that. Now my black card's gonna be taken away from me because I can't remember the man's name. But Thurgood Marshall. There you go. Thurgood to be in that position, and then Clarence Thomas replaces him as the voice of black people, is a travesty. To the highest degray, and we are going to be forever kicking ourselves in the ass because of that. As long as he is there, I will wish that his wife does something stupid more, so that we can go ahead and get him out of office as fast as humanly possible. Right. Because that alone just completely blew me.
He hates himself, I believe. I do believe.
Did you all see the thing that Joy Reid said about her?
Her experience.
As far as affirmative action is concerned.
Absolutely.
I want to play this real quick because it is something that definitely needs to be seen.
Oh, yes.
Joy Reid, everybody.
Harvard only because of affirmative action. I went to a school no one had ever heard of in Denver, Colorado, in a small suburb. I didn't go to Exeter or Andover. I didn't have college test prep. I just happened to be really nerdy and smart and have really good grades and good SAT scores. Right. But someone came to Denver, Colorado to look for me. A Harvard recruiter flew to Denver, and I met up with her at the Village Inn restaurant and did a pre-interview to get to pull me into Harvard. I was pulled in, and the schools like Harvard and Yale that I got into affirmatively. Yes. And it was literally not saying we're going to take an unqualified person and put them in Harvard. Yes. We're going to take a very qualified person who we would never know existed and put them in Harvard. That's how I got there. That's how Ketanji got there. That's how Justice Jackson, I should say. Justice Jackson got there. It's how Clarence Thomas got there. Right. But the minute I arrived from my majority black little town, Montbello in Denver, to Harvard, the first week or two that I was in class, my presence was questioned by white people. I was in this big conference class where some white students stood up and said, those students, the black students, they're only here because of affirmative action. It became a huge argument that we all ended up having. This was freshman year. I had never had my academic credentials questioned. I had never had anyone question whether I was intelligent until I got to Harvard. And it was a defining point of my experience there. It's why I really was one of the many reasons I was miserable there my freshman year. Yeah. You felt completely out of place, and people keep telling you shouldn't be here. And yet, some of the people I went to school with were far less smart than me or the other black folk there. They got in because their daddy and their granddaddy. I went to school with somebody whose name was on one of the buildings. You're going to school with people whose names are on the buildings, who are third and fourth generation legacies, whose parents pumped money into Harvard to get them in. But that affirmative action is okay with this majority. They said that the people who benefited from slavery, their descendants, who are so far ahead of black folk in terms of opportunity, that will never catch up to them. I don't care how many Oprahs we get. Yeah. Those people's affirmative action is A-okay because those people can pay for fancy trips for them. Yeah. But you people who want to get in just because of your brains, but you're not from a legacy, too bad. You can't come in.
It sucks.
It's crazy.
And scene. Because that explains the whole thing. And Clarence Thomas, who was a product of affirmative action.
The very first year it started, 1971.
For him to make that turn and to say that he is no longer in support of it, again, the biggest law travesty there is to have Clarence Thomas wear a black robe and to sit there with 8 other justices to be the last say in law.
I know our good sis RBG is turning over, doing backflips, front flips, and everything. I can only imagine what she would be saying and talking about during this.
So that's unfortunate that we have to. That's not the only ruling that they made, though. You know, first it all started with Roe versus Wade. That's number one. Number two, they went this week because this is last week was the last week that they were in for the summer. So they wanted to make all of these rulings before
they went out with a bang, didn't they?
Yep. So they said that also student loans first. Mm-hmm. Student loans were unconstitutional for Biden to say that he cannot forgive student loan debt that is unconstitutional and is not in the power of the presidency to do something like that.
But it is.
But those PPP loans from...
Don't get me started on the PPP.
Oh, okay. All right.
I wish I knew about the PPP.
Listen.
No, I don't. Brother. I don't. I don't want that.
We might not be sitting here today.
I don't want that type of thunder in my life right now.
But I'm talking about those that, what's her name?
Who?
You just said her name.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Mm-hmm. People like that, they had, took out those, took advantage of those. Those are forgiven. Yeah. But you're telling me that, my student loans, that's...
And the whole thing that brought this on was the pandemic, because in situations of, what do you want to call it? It's not a travesty, but what is it? Devastation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When there's financial ruin and things like that, then the president has every right to establish a program to forgive debt that way. But the pandemic's over now? Absolutely not. He doesn't have his unconstitutional. And
well, now for white people everywhere, I just want to be able to say, how can you forgive their debt? And I had to pay off my student loan debt.
Right, I paid my student loan.
I met my responsibility. I was given a loan, and I was honorable enough to pay it back. So why should they lose? Why should they be forgiven $10,000, $20,000 when I had to pay that money back? Or it wasn't me. Exactly. It was my father who paid for it, and based off of his $1 million corporation, he paid for the loan.
Exactly.
But
wrote it off on his taxes.
And still wrote it off, so he'll get that money back at the end of the year. Yeah. But still.
I can't remember the reporter. It was some CNN correspondent when this first started being talked about. And she was like, how can you forgive student loans when my mother worked her fingers to the bones at 70-something years old? She was working in restaurants to pay for me to go to school. And people in the comments were tearing her ass.
Because why would you say something?
They like, why would you let your mama work in 70-something years old for you? I wish I could remember who that was.
I would probably say something about that. Yeah, she's 70, still paying off your loan?
Right. Exactly. And you're on CNN right now?
Girl. Unfortunately, that was one thing. The second thing was the LGBTQ plus decision for a woman who was a web designer who did not want to work for a gay couple.
Right. So what was she a web designer? I thought she had a bakery or something.
Well, she was a web designer, but it was about the bakery. It was about the cake, but it was the stance that she took. First of all, let's just say no gay, lesbian, bisexual person ever approached her to do business with them. Right. She just said, what if they do? I don't want to have to do it. I don't want to be liable. So they were like, you know what, you're right. Okay, let's go ahead and support. She should have the right to refuse
business. We're going back with y'all. We're going so far back.
I didn't even hear this.
All the strides that were made over the past 20 years are being moonwalked.
Supreme Court says she's well within her right to refuse business to anybody. Yeah. And that she cannot, because it's her product, it's her signature, and if she does work for them, she is also supporting the project, the project, or the cause. So that makes her liable, and she didn't want that liability. So the Supreme Court says, hey, okay, people have the right to refuse anyone. We're back to the 1960s or 1940s.
Basically,
now. We're at that point now where you have the right, because you're black, because you're gay, because you're lesbian, because you're Mexican. We no longer, as proud tax-paying white American people, we don't have to support your shit. And that's pretty much what that is.
Representative Ana Navarro, I freaking love her. Okay, she's she talks politics on CNN, and she also co-hosts on The View sometimes. She posted a meme that says selling gays a cake is participating in the marriage, but selling a gun to a shooter isn't participating in the murder. I love her, y'all.
Man, applause.
Go follow her
on for that one.
Yeah, I only followed her when she was cussing out the people on CNN.
She has always. She be telling them, "Shut up, let me finish talking."
Exactly. Yeah.
She goes in.
She went off on one of the guys because he got offended for her saying something about Trump grabbing a woman's pussy. He's like, "Could you not say pussy? Or could you not say that my children watch this show?" Oh, I can't say it, but it's okay for your boy Trump to say it.
Your president.
Man, she went in on him. So I watched it about 17 times.
Well, that's the society in which we live in now with this Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. And again, it all goes back to the day that Barack Obama tried to get Merrick Garland in there, and Congress said, because you're leaving office, you can't do it.
Right. But they let Trump do the same thing.
And they let Trump let in 3.
Yep.
He let in 3 because Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that was under Trump. Because she just passed.
You're right.
So that was Trump that did that one as well. So there was, for him to have 3 Supreme Court judges, hundreds of U.S. federal judges in place. Actually,
guys, she was placed under Bill Clinton. She was nominated by President Bill Clinton to replace retiring Justice Byron White. I'm sorry.
As far as Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yes.
She was placed by Clinton?
Yes.
But when she passed,
it was under Trump's administration.
It was under Trump.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the sad part of this whole thing is that we had a Congress that agreed with that to the point that they backed the Republicans backed that and kept Obama from having put Merrick Garland in there. And so it's so apropos now that Merrick Garland is sitting over the Trump case right now, not letting this go any further. And for these indictments to come in, see, we've been gone for so long. We could have talked about this whole thing here forever. Man. We can't take another week off.
We cannot. I'm sorry. Shout out to my brother and his brand new lovely bride.
Congratulations,
Maurice Johnson and Temperance Johnson, Mr. and Mrs. Congratulations to the couple. But yeah, that's why we missed last Sunday, and we will not be missing another Sunday. If we got to do it from Delvin is here and me and Steven at church, we gotta go in the room. We're gonna make this happen because too much happens, and we get here and we want to talk about it all, and y'all gonna be tired of listening to us.
I want to talk about all this stuff here before the writers come back in, because when the writers come off a strike, late night TV is gonna blow up all over again because they've been on hiatus since this thing has gone forward. And you never know how much you need writers. Until there's a strike.
Look at the BET Awards.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Can we talk about this BET Awards real fast? Well, not real fast, because I won't take my time on this level of ratchetness and debauchery that has gone forward.
Let me just say, I've only seen clips on the internet. I refuse to spend my good time looking at that bullshit because
you ain't missing nothing.
Those clips that I did see, I first of all, I didn't know who many of the people were, and I'm like, okay, this is it's beyond me. It's above me now. Like homeboy said, I can't waste the time. But the clips that I did see with the twerking and stuff all around Bobby Jones,
that was hilarious.
And
my goodness!
And is Bobby okay? Is Bobby okay?
Bobby made a statement, so he's fine. He released a statement.
But
there was just too much going on.
It was
Bobby.
A lot, and that girl, what's her name? Sexy Red. I'm gonna just say it. I'm only quoting the song lyrics. But I'm only quoting the song lyrics.
Is this your disclaimer?
That's
right
my disclaimer because I don't really talk like this for real. But in her song, it says, "My pussy pink and my booty hole brown."
And I thought that was commonality. But I mean, hey, all right.
Like, okay, so you made a song about it?
Right.
Thanks for
Like
pointing out
here
anatomy.
you go.
Thanks for pointing out anatomy.
You know, ain't everybody's.
I'm just saying, why can't we just...
This is the music today.
Captain Obvious made a record.
This is music. This is where we are. And like, we thought it was bad back in the day when Luke and yeah, we thought that was like, oh my
But
God.
Uncle Luke got up there too on the
And
BET Awards.
Because it's the
That was one of
50th
the-
year,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
couldn't celebrate hip hop without giving some kudos to
Come on.
Live Crew.
Exactly.
Come on. So yeah, that's crazy. He was, I guess, the sexy red of our day, and this girl now is just it's crazy.
But
where is it gonna go?
what happened to R&B?
What happened?
What happened to R&B?
Hey.
If it was a BET Awards,
But you know what? I'm only thinking it was done because of the celebration of hip hop. Yeah.
We'd like to believe that.
You can't just throw out a genre and say R&B doesn't exist during the BET Awards.
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense to me. I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, so I'm just waiting for Usher.
Anybody.
I'm waiting for Tank, maybe. I'm waiting for Brian McKnight, his ratchet ass.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for anybody to come out there and sing a ballad. Anybody.
You wouldn't get no
And
ballad that night.
it
Ain't
did
none.
not
No,
happen.
son.
Did not happen.
This is how forgiving we are. Again, back to your question, Stephen. The BET Awards, Black Entertainment Television.
That didn't exist.
Why we got white stars on the BET Awards?
Why?
Why do we have Christina Aguilera? Who I'm just using her as an example, but the Ice Spice, is she white? What is she?
I don't know what she is.
What?
But she's
Spice.
Why is she
talented.
there? Why are we letting the outside
I don't know
people
what she
outside of
is.
our race
Mostly because
participate?
Mostly because Jordan Poole is still asking that question, as far as Ice Spice white or black or what. I spent $500,000 on her. I don't know what race she is.
Wow.
So, but you didn't hear the story?
No.
Oh my God! Let me tell you about this little piece.
Please do.
Ice Spice and Jordan Poole went out on a date.
And he spent $500,000?
On the date,
Are you?
he spent
Shannon gonna have to-
$500,000.
He better get his
You're
stuff
right.
together.
Get your fingers ready for this one because she got a $500,000 gift from him for going on one date with her.
Was that out of the kindness of his heart, or did she go for the $500,000?
No, he got something.
I don't know what he got, but I know what she got. She got a $500,000 car.
Wow.
He bought her a car on the first date?
Again, this is Fools with Money. This is the episode of the show called Fools with Money, folks. And when you have money, you don't do things that, like regular folks do. And I guess he would want to spend $500,000
He's showing up, did. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh my God.
on a date with Ice Spice.
There's no one in the world right now I can think of that a date I would be willing to spend if I had it.
Not 500,000.
I had it.
500,000. Cameron is quoted by saying, "Jordan Poole, you spent $500,000 on the Ice Spice date. You're a munch, and you're playing like a fucking munch.
Yeah.
This is not you from last year. Go back to Milwaukee and figure it the fuck out and get back in the playoffs because you look crazy." Oh my
This
God.
girl look like Little Orphan Annie
Little
Yes.
Orphan
with a
Annie.
BBL, and you spending
$500,000 on that.
Wow.
Google what's her nationality. I'm gonna ask.
I don't even care, because
But back to my why are we letting outside races into the Black Entertainment Television Awards?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why. Because white people are so involved with Bollywood right now that they're going to make that transition into having. We're going to have a stake now in black music. We're going to have a stake. We're going to have Christina. We're gonna have
whoever they
Christina
are.
Aguilera.
I can't remember the other one name. There's another small one that
Gwen Stefani. That little one.
Yeah,
that wear the meat dress.
On the
what's her name?
On The Voice.
No.
The
Gaga. The one, yeah,
Lady Gaga too. Mm-hmm. But all of them have now whittled their way in because Bollywood is now taking over so much as far as music, films, all of that now. So they're not going to give black people any credit, but they're going to open the door to Asia. They're going to open the door to India. They're going to open the door to all of this.
That's what I'm saying. We too forgiving.
We are
wide open.
That's why.
Whosoever will let them come. We just took that shit out of context.
That's why the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Because what was that about?
It was the same thing as Kill Bill, but only Asians.
And I had to watch it 3 times to make sense out of it.
I couldn't get it, but I do understand why now. But that's why the infiltration of black music is now so widespread now that black people they can't even get credit. There's a person who was on YouTube. I saw him on YouTube. I love his singing, but I knew as soon as he did a Mario song. Teddy Swim.
Yes, I just followed him yesterday. I think I sent it to you, Steven.
Teddy Swims.
Yes, he is amazing.
He's the truth, but still.
Yeah.
Teddy Swims.
Who he sound like though? A black person.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so
because he had a lot of covers.
He got a lot of soul in his voice.
He's got Marvin Gaye covers on his thing. He's got Mario covers on it. He's got Michael Jackson.
Luther Vandross. That's the one I sent you.
Yeah.
He's doing like an amazing job, but the fact remains he's a white man trying to sound like a black man.
But when he comes to Chicago in September, watch me be right there.
Because let me know when, because I'm going too.
Teddy, don't you Teddy, but I'll be right there.
Right.
Be right there with you.
So Ice Spice is African American and Dominican.
Okay,
so she's Dominican. Can we just call a spade? Because
her
if you
father,
call her Spice
is Spice.
Not a Spice. It was gonna call her Cinnamon. Her father, a former underground rapper, is African American. They don't say who he is though. And her mother, who gave birth to Gaston at age 17, is Dominican. So that answers that question. So.
Yeah. So Ice Spice, Dominican / black or just / Dominican, all Dominican, went on a date and it cost Jordan $500,000.
That's his bad, and I feel like his mom should slap the shit out of him.
And that's why he got traded to Washington.
Exactly.
Well, he was paying less than Zion. Well, he ain't gonna go back to that.
Well, see, that's the thing. Zion got some stuff from that person. He on the first date, like, here you go. Where can you go from there? Because like Valentine's Day, you can't just send her no roses after you done bought her $500,000 car.
No,
she'd be like, what is this? So yeah, he didn't leave any. He didn't think that through, and he definitely didn't talk to his friends about it because they'd have been like, nigga.
Roasted that shit out.
Well, he's getting dragged in the internet now because that munch. Who calls somebody a munch?
But it's
Cameron.
It's fitting.
I saw that. I was like, okay, no one uses the word munch anymore. But that's exactly.
Yeah, he stood on it. So
okay, so the last thing we got to talk about is the. What happened here? Breaking news. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Wait a second.
We got breaking news.
Breaking news.
What done happened?
Please stop back.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. NASCAR delayed again because
disregard.
Listen.
Never mind. Okay. The last thing we need to talk about is the little segment that we call musical confessions.
Segment, guys.
Oh, we got to talk about the relationship. We're not done. Let's just say this.
Yeah, we got a little ways to go.
We're almost an hour into this.
We just don't
buckle up, guys.
Hey, put some more meat on the barbecue. Just listen up for a little bit, okay? I promise we won't be long. Yes, we will. Whenever somebody says I won't be long,
it's gonna be.
It's go get a snack time.
It's gonna be right.
It's gonna be long.
Hydrate, everybody. Hydrate while we get this story together, okay? We're gonna talk about real quick. We're gonna save the music confessions for last. Okay, the story of the relationship question of the day. A little while ago, we went on Instagram and we said we needed somebody to send us their relationship questions
Yes.
on our Instagram. If you go to @unmuted_the_podcast, you will find our page, and you can DM us any of your relationship questions that you might have.
Yes.
And somebody was brave enough to say what was asked the question. So they got a random text or a random DM from somebody, and they gave me his name. I won't say his name, but it started off by him asking her, just jumping on her DM saying, "Hey, you want to go on a dinner or a date with me this weekend?" And she was like, "I have 2 kids and a spouse."
Right.
It's kind of odd or rude to just message someone you don't know and not even ask if they're single, or try to ask them to dinner. That was number 1. Number 2, the second, if I can come out of this, thank you. Done, thank you. Okay, now the second part, or his response, which is going to have the question in here. He says, "Nothing is rude. I'm not required to ask you anything. If you can't do it, then you can't do it. I don't have to ask if you're single. It's your responsibility to tell me if you are single or not." Which begs the question, is it someone's responsibility to actually immediately say whether or not they're single if they get DM'd?
Immediately?
If somebody's asking them for a date,
after the person's intentions are revealed, yeah. If you're single and you're happy in your relationship, then you should at least be like, "Yo, I'm sorry, I'm single," you know. But should he just come and ask, "Hey, are you single?" I mean, it's not wrong.
No, it's not.
It's not wrong. So, like, what was her issue? Because he didn't ask? Because
he didn't ask. He just went straight in and said, "Hey, go on a date with me." This is somebody that obviously does not know her,
right?
To know whether or not that she's married and has children. So he just goes out and just say, "Hey, you want to go out on a date with me?" So if it was me in that situation, and it was me in that situation about a month or so ago.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. This is near and dear to your heart.
When someone came in my DM and asked me, "Hey, gorgeous, how you doing?" All this stuff here. What's your where are you from, and what's your marital status? And
okay.
I thought that was a fair question. I just said to them that I'm in Chicago and I'm very much married. And that was the end of the conversation.
See?
Okay.
She didn't DM me anymore.
Exactly.
I didn't reach out to her. She's a ghost to me.
Right.
But she, on the other end, the person that we're talking about here, decided to obliterate this guy.
For something he had no way of knowing.
She was having a bad day. Maybe she was on her period. Because, like, why are you tripping like that? He came at you. He found you attractive. He didn't research, to go on your page. Are you representing your spouse? Do you have pictures posted of him? Do you have pictures posted of your kids?
Thank you.
Like, it's stuff that all plays a factor in this. So for her to just get that mad and upset about it, like, that was kind of senseless.
Yeah, she went on into saying, and I just want to add on to what she said. I got to go back to it. Here it is. She went on to say, "It's really baffling that you think it's okay to talk to people the way you do, how rude you are. In the city, you are not even going to take 5 seconds to get to know anything about me before you think you have the right to ask me to dinner. You are extremely disrespectful, and this is exactly why you've been single for so long.
Wow.
And you're obviously desperate and resorting to messaging random women thinking that it's going to get you anywhere. Go on, please." So she just had to get that out of her chest.
She had to get that off her chest. But on the flip side of that, sis, you got niggas that's out here just texting you every day. What you doing?
What you doing?
What you doing?
Exactly.
What you doing? This man came at you with a plan. Let me take you out. What are you doing? You guys, I'm sorry, but a lot of times it does feel like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. So I can understand that as far as when men say that. But, like, She just came out of bag on him.
Yeah, she did.
So I can't even agree with the sister this time.
Listen, and it goes on.
No, she kept talking.
All you had to do, this is way down the road now. He's talking about the fact that he's single on purpose. Men are the gatekeepers to relationships. Women are the gatekeepers to sex. So it's not an insult to call man single. Men want a variety of women. You should know this by now at your age. Wow. Plenty of women want me. It became disrespectful when you were disrespectful first. All you had to do was say sorry, no.
Wow.
Right? She goes on, all you had to do was take the hint and go on, but here you are trying to convince me that plenty of people want you. And that's why you're trying to hit on me, right? Because plenty of people want to go on dates with you. Mm-hmm. So she's on a different level right now.
Yeah.
She's thinking something different. Somebody has obviously heard her.
Yeah, clearly.
Mm-hmm. But for her to be married with children, she's got a lot of time.
Why entertain it? You could have just blocked this and kept it moving. That's crazy. Now, I'm going to support the women when they're right, but she clearly was having a bad day. She
was right in the beginning, but it started to turn when she started to entertain it and kept going with it. Okay, if you're married with children, the end. Exactly. Just like I said, I'm very much married. The end, point of story, end of point, scene.
There would have been
nothing else to discuss.
Right.
She kept it going.
You went on this whole, how dare you? What?
Why I've never. All of this in righteous indignation.
Exactly.
It was too much. It was too much to me. So I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry, sis. And I know you asked for our opinion. What you should have done. I'm sorry. You should have left it alone.
Hey, we put the disclaimer out when we said that we were doing the relationship advice. You might not like what we have to say.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an unmuted opinion.
Yeah.
Our unmuted opinion was that you were dead ass wrong.
Yeah.
And you could have just went the other way. Just left it alone. Okay?
Yep. And you could have possibly made a friend in the process. Like, you know what, I'm sorry. Thank you for the compliments or whatever, but I am very much married. But, you have a good day. Who knows? Now,
the last story that we're going to talk about is relationship confessions. Musical relationship confessions. When it comes to certain people, there was a story that hit the internet, and Lisa was quick to jump on it. You jumped on it right away and sent it to all of us, and we were just sitting here saying, is this literally true? So Lisa, set it up while I make this call.
It's actually something that had I've heard years ago, but like when it resurfaced, there were new details added to this. Like some of the things that I heard back in the day, and what are we talking about? We're talking about Bobby Womack. He is a artist from Chicago. He's made several hits. One of the hits, If You Think You're Lonely Now, Jodeci or Casey and JoJo remade that. If You Think You're Lonely Now, Wait Until Tonight, Girl. Okay, so he already was a little smart mouth, little fucker with that last song. But then we're talking about Bobby Womack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. The scene back then, on the music scene in Chicago back then, we had Bobby Womack, we had Sam Cooke, we had who else? Who was somebody? Otis Redding.
Yeah, he was in that.
Yeah. Right. So we had our share of great artists in Chicago back in the early 70s, mid 70s, that type of thing. But Bobby Womack, homeboy was with all the shits.
He was wild. He was,
to say the least.
He was with all of it. Now, allegedly, Bobby Womack and Sam Cooke were close, like tight best friends or something.
He was like the protege of
Sam Cooke. Yeah. So Sam Cooke gets killed or dies or however his demise was met. Homeboy, Bobby Womack, shows up to the funeral, not only in Sam Cooke's suit, not only in Sam Cooke's car, driving his car, but also with Sam Cooke's widow next to him. And they go on. Okay, also after that funeral, allegedly, the brothers, Sam Cooke brothers, like beat the shit out of Bobby Womack.
They beat the brakes off of him.
And then she stayed with him, the widow. They married, I believe. And she had children from her previous marriage. And so she had an 11-year-old daughter that Bobby raised. Well, Bobby and Sam Cooke's ex-wife and his current wife split. Bobby left her and proceeded to start dating the daughter that was 11 years old at the time of their marriage. And she was 17, I believe, at the time. So he raised her all that time. So now I'm looking at him like, were you looking at her when she was 11? Were you just waiting? Or what? But yeah, he started dating that one, the daughter. Want to say they had some kids, not sure. Then the daughter leaves him, starts dating his brother, Bobby Womack's brother. They formed a whole nother singing group called Womack and Womack.
Is that what they came from?
I can't understand that, baby.
No.
I can't
I
understand.
can pull a rabbit out my hat. That's not the only thing I can pull out my hat, by the way.
Clearly.
Yeah, that was some West Side bullshit if I've ever heard. I don't even know where they live. Hopefully, the person on the phone can clear that up for us.
The person on the phone who I have on the phone is downright the foremost authority on everything music, and the very person that I depend on to give me the truth. He is a music historian. He is a legend in his own making, and he will forever be. Since I was working with him at one radio station for the last 5 years, he will always be the voice in my head. Okay. He is by far the utmost music authority in this. His name, everybody, is Mr. Al Greer.
Al Greer! Oh my God! Thank you for being here.
Al Greer. What was going on here with?
What's he talking about? Me?
I'm talking about you. Al, is any of this stuff that we're talking about? Is it true? First off, is it true?
It is all true.
Oh my God!
It is absolutely statistically.
How true can we make?
L.C. Cooke and his brothers beat the brakes off of Bobby Womack.
Jeez.
Yes, they did at the funeral.
At the funeral.
They didn't even wait for the repast.
Why would you?
I mean,
exactly. You not only showed up in his suit, in his car, but with his wife.
You couldn't do this on the outside. You had to do it in the church. I mean, he was pulling up. You couldn't get him in the parking lot. Why you got to put it in the church? Why you got to have God all up in this thing here now? Now, this is just wrong.
He needed to be saved.
Well, he wasn't going to get saved that day.
That had nothing to do with this one.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get saved that day. So, out of this entire thing, yes, this whole thing was one incestuous relationship. And then it also begat another incestuous relationship.
Yes.
And so tell us about all this. Tell us about the timeline that went past all of this.
Well, everything that you said was absolutely right. And actually in that order. Linda Cooke, which the daughter of Sam, and she formed a group with Bobby's brother Cecil. How you doing, sir? And they became Womack. Thus the song, Baby, I'm Scared of You.
So the song, I wish he wouldn't have trusted him so much. Was that a result of of everything that went down?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
That was done years later.
Okay.
So it had nothing to do with the incident that happened years before that.
So now you got. So now you have Womack and Womack. You have the Baby I'm Scared of You. Does that song have any correlation to what went on in some form?
Actually, none of the songs have anything to do with anything.
Okay.
They were just
good
songs that they made.
Okay.
Or based on any of experiences or thing.
Okay.
So nobody had the lyrics. Oh, I had to wait until she was 16 or whatever. It's not like Rick James.
Rick James, she was only 17.
Well, there is a song that Sam Cooke did.
Oh.
And that song was called She Was Only 16.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow.
There
And I was 2 to know.
There it is. I wish I could play this and not get dinged off on YouTube for this because I'm going to go ahead and play. I have to play this.
But that came way before all of those incidents happened.
Right.
Okay.
So, again, ladies and gentlemen, if there's one person who knows his shit, it's Mr. Al Greer. And Al Greer, you can hear him and his musical rendition called The B-Sides on 1690 WVON. He also has his own show on Facebook that is called Bedtime Stories. Am I saying that right, Al?
And that's on my own station, WOSDRadio.com.
And you can hear him putting you to bed, but never to sleep.
Okay. I love that.
That is, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, Mr. Greer, before we let you go, can you confirm what side of town these people lived on? Was it the west side? Because I feel like this was just some west side shit.
No, actually, it was just, south side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God. Another win for the west side.
See,
not our problem.
I knew I should have let him go before he started.
I mean, none of that stuff had anything to do with what side of town they were on or anything.
Yeah.
But West Siders be West Sided.
Right. And that's just some West Side stuff to me.
That sounds like the soundtrack of the West Side. Right there. Right?
I hope this is not our last time hearing from Mr. Greer. I know he sounded like he had a lot of stories.
A plethora of information.
Al has a lot. I'm telling you, Al is Wikipedia with feet.
I love it.
He knows
Thank you.
everything when it comes to music. Al is the foremost authority. He is the person that I go to find out any information. He is we don't get these type of people often. Mm-hmm. But this is when you have to give them their accolades now. Because of all of the hard work they put in. Al is that person. He does this without a script. Mm-hmm. He does this without any notes or whatever. He will. If I would say, Al, tell me something real quick about. Tell me something about the SOS band. He'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're from Atlanta. His big hit was "Take Your Time, Do It Right."
Yeah, exactly.
Most of their hits were produced and written by Jimmy Jam and Terry.
Get out of here! I didn't know that.
Wow.
Leon Silvers did most of their songs as well.
The Silvers, I forgot about them.
See, this is Al. This is Al Greer.
Silvers of the Silvers.
Yeah.
Al Greer can give you any story about any person. For example, hit out of the blue, Al, Orange Juice Jones. Yes. Orange Juice Jones. Go.
Orange Juice Jones is from Brooklyn. His only big hit was "The Rain."
Yeah.
I saw and him.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing
and after that, he became a producer.
Really?
And he produced who? Anybody that we know?
I think he was involved with Heavy D and the Boys, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome.
See, and this is why Al Greer is Al Greer, because he has this information, and I promise you, if you Google it, it will say "See Al Greer."
That's funny.
He is that person. Al, awesome. Thank you always, man. You're still the voice in my head, and I appreciate everything, sir. And his voice, by the way. Get him on a stereo mic. Get him on a mic.
I know.
Oh my God!
Listen,
he's the voice of God.
He's been around for years, and I see it on his Facebook page. It's Dr. Al Greer. So yes, I just gave you a follow, and I look forward to your content.
Dr. Al Greer, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
So we have to give you your accolades, Al. We'll talk. Thank you. And you need to do some voices for us. As far as the unmuted podcast, you got to do something for us. Give him a script. He will say anything.
Just let me know.
See?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Al. We'll talk later. Thanks, man.
All right. Take care.
All right, sir. And
that was cool.
That, again, ladies and gentlemen, is the wonderful Al Greer. He is by far that guy.
Yeah.
Man, this can't be the last time we have him.
Oh no, this won't be, because he has story after story after story. He, without a script, off the top of his head, give it to him, and you give him a group. What do you know about the song Peanut Butter?
You go to work.
It was in 1967 it came out. He'll tell you all about it. So that's out. But again, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Unmuted the Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. Unmuted the Podcast can be found on every streaming platform out there. Please, please, please support us, and by going to our YouTube page and subscribing to our YouTube page, Genius Audio LLC. You'll see that. Subscribe to it, like our content, and you will get firsthand notifications when we have content. And we put it on there. It's just not this show, will be other shows as well. Right. But you want to be on board when we debut content.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Stephen, Big Sir,
yes, sir,
and for Lisa J, who is always here, I love everybody. My name is Delvin, and your brother got married last week. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
To him. Coco Chanel's birthday, my dog's birthday is today.
Oh, yes. And she is turned up. We about to party.
Oh, yeah. She needs a pup cup. We got to go to Starbucks and get a pup cup before they close. So that's part of the plan today. So hopefully you guys will enjoy your holiday. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yes, happy 4th. Be safe.
And yes, be safe. Be inside if you can. Be safe with your friends. And put something on the grill for all of us. And
please.
Just let us know when you got something ready. We'll come by.
We'll be there.
Oh, we definitely will be there.
I'll bring the fork. Stephen will bring the sauce.
Yeah.
Lisa will bring the ice.
The spice.
I'll try to make it the cheapest thing possible.
Right.
We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great week.
All
Okay.
right.
See ya.